Now, we've got you on the phone today to talk about the band's latest single, Hit the Limit, which we just played.
Yep.
But before we get into that, over the past 18 months or so, Charlotte and The Harlots have fast become, along with bands like Witch Skull, I guess one of the leading lights in Canberra's underground scene. Tell us how and when the band formed, and also how the past 12 months or so have been for you guys during lockdown.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, the band, we formed it in 2017, so me and my drummer, Don, we had a couple songs and we wanted to, play them live. So that's sort of how we got it started, and then just made our way through and found members that really had the same vision as us, which took a while, but we finally got there. So we've got some solid foundations now. So we've been doing that since 2017, but the past 12 months, honestly, have been pretty difficult. Playing live has been hard, having to reschedule things. It's just been a lot of, pausing and playing and rewinding and having to look at things over again, and just, hoping that things are going to start to clear up a bit so we can get our music out and start doing more shows. And so we just thought we'd put some singles in during that time to sort of let people know that we are still working on things and we're wanting to, get shit done.
Cool. So obviously the band name is inspired from Iron Maiden's 1980 track from their debut record.
Yep, it's also the only thing that rhymes with Charlotte.
Good point.
Yeah.
It just made me think.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's shine the light on the new single, Hit the Limit, which I really dig. It's got a great melody and is very catchy. Appealing lead vocals and some hand claps there at the end too, which always get the thumbs up from me. What's the background to that one? I guess a song which, as I read on the band's Facebook page, is dear to you all.
Yeah, so that song is so dear to us in the way that we went in to record our album in Sydney with Jay from Frenzal, and we didn't actually have that song written or anything, and we were just in our Airbnb, just talking about friendships and relationships in life and really bonding as a band. And then we went into the studio the next day hey, we sort of just came up with this. What do you reckon we put it on the album? And it's probably all of our favorites that we've done. And Jay was really encouraging with all the hand claps and the egg shakers and stuff. So it was just a song that we felt we bonded the most on. I really think it's a song that's dear to us in the sense that we've all related to the lyrics, but it was also just one of those spontaneous moments as a band where we just made something great. Okay, and
recorded in Sydney's Marrickville, but mastered all the way in Colorado. Did I read that right?
Yeah, no, that's correct. So Don, our drummer, he's really good with sussing out all the good spots. So he recommended that one, and we're like, hell yeah, that's the one. Let's do it. If I'm correct, I think they've mastered some really cool punk bands. I can't think of them at the top of my head. That's more dance sort of forte, remembering all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, and Hit the Limit is the latest release, which follows on from the Around single cut late last year. If I've got my facts straight, the band released a self-titled EP 3 years back, and there was the superb version of God's My Pal released a while back as well, which I believe God came onto your radar via your dad, who has a musical background himself and has no doubt been an influence on you.
That's correct. So that song's actually the first song I learned how to play on guitar. So my dad, basically introduced me to his record collection when I was a kid, and that's one of the songs that I absolutely loved, and he taught me how to play that on guitar, and that's always a song that I've got fond memories of. And I was like, you know what, I want to bring this to the younger people, and we want to do our own little rendition of it, and people love it, and it's so much fun to play. We just cut stick at the end of the shows. We end our sets with that song, so yeah, it's good fun, that one.
It's great to, and I'm dating myself, but I obviously bought that when it was released. It's great that you can release that it's great that you can release that to a whole new generation, and it should be heard by a whole new generation as well. But besides releasing your own music, what are some of the highlights since the band formed 5 or so years back?
With the highlights, you mean like our experiences and things we've done?
Well, special gigs, were there any gigs which are memorable?
Definitely, I think at the moment, we've got 2 shows coming up with Hard-Ons and Frenzal Rhomb. They are my absolute favourite bands of all time, and being able to just like have conversations with them and being able to play with them now, that is absolutely like going to be the highlight of all of our careers as a band. We're super, super excited for that. But even just meeting guys like Witch Skull and them giving us all these advice as young musicians and, you know, really just sort of forming a bond with, you know, the like old punk, hardcore metal dudes and really learning a lot off them. I feel like I'm super lucky that I've been able to sort of be around that, you know, through my dad who, you know, he's mates with all of them. So I'm rambling now, but I'm getting to the point of I feel super lucky to have that sort of support system around me, and it's definitely been a highlight for all of our careers, being able to, you know, learn off them. Yeah,
and I guess having your dad involved in rock and roll is a great foundation for you to step into. You know, if you've been immersed in it, you know, it's a wonderful thing. But and I will give those dates at the end of our chat here. But the 2 dates coming up from memory, there's one in Canberra at the Basement with Frenzal Rhomb, and another one at the station in Jindabyne as well, 29th and 30th of July. And there's a show with the Meanies as well from memory.
Yeah, there's a show with the Meanies. I can't actually remember off the top of my head because it's been rescheduled so many times, but all of the dates and everything you can find on our socials.
Sure.
We also have the Hard-Ons gig the 31st of March at the Basement in Canberra as well.
Awesome. If listeners wish to learn more about the band, Facebook is obviously the way to go, but Bandcamp is the best place for folks to get a hold of the music, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Wonderful, wonderful. Charlotte, great to get you on the show. Good luck for the remainder of the year. Please keep in touch and please keep the rock and roll flame burning in the nation's capital.
Thanks so much, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for, you know, giving our music a play. I'm so fucking keen.